So as far as the annotations go for Animal Farm, it's kind of simple, I guess. I just want to go through this real quickly. This is a slide that I showed in class, and I just want to kind of reiterate that annotations, it's very different than just, hey, I'm going to read a book. When you're doing annotations, the expectation is that you're being very active and you're interacting with your text. So keep that in mind. It has a very different feel than if, like the first 10 to 15 minutes of class where we just get to read for fun. So just know that it's a little bit different. Okay. Anyway, whenever you're annotating, make sure you have your highlighter, your pens, or your post-it notes, whatever you're using with you. And however you do it is yours. That's your decision. My job is I just need to make sure that I can clearly follow your thought process and that you are following directions on the annotations. So if you've got a system down, that's okay. But just know it has to be in your text. It can't be like a separate sheet of paper. You can use a separate sheet of paper to help you, but it has to be actually in your text. The other quick thing is, as far as due dates, I'll be checking chapters 1 through 5 annotations on Monday, Tuesday, December 7th/8th. And notice how first and fifth period, it will be on the 7th, and you'll have a quiz. And or everybody will have a quiz that day over those chapters. And the second annotation will be due on January 5th and 6th. So if you don't want to have homework break or break over don't want to have homework over the break, then what I would suggest that you do is work ahead so that you can just kind of relax. And then the day before they're due, what you can do is just kind of glance through your annotations so that you refresh your memory. So that's with annotations. What it'll look like is similar to this. Now, this is just one student's version of it. You're going to be highlighting quite a bit. And notice that she used, in this case, she used yellow, blue, orange. Over here, she did squiggle marks in pink. She did squiggle marks in green, or I'm so sorry, in aqua. But for your first set of annotations, it will be that you highlight the name of the characters, and I'll give you a list here, and I'll show you that in a second. And then you label who they're representing. So off to the side, you'd write that. And then you highlight the description the first time you see it. Now, if you see other descriptions that you want to highlight, that's okay. But what I'll be checking is, did you highlight the name? Did you label it off to the side? And did you highlight the first description of the character? So in this case, she was working on Boxer, who's one of the horses. So highlight the name, she put over here who he represents, and then she highlighted the description. Now with the blue, she used, for this pig, she used blue. And for Benjamin, if you look down here, she used orange. So each of the characters, in this case, she did a different color. Now as far as what you need to do, and this is a handout I gave in class, and I'll put it on my Canvas site as well. This is the annotations sheet. So an allegory is going to, it talks a little bit what an allegory is, how each of the characters represent something else. And anyway, so the first thing you do, highlight the symbol, or in this case, the character, highlight the word or, something that's real close to it to describe it, and then the description, or I'm sorry, label it. So here's, for example, Mr. Jones is one of the characters. He stands for the Tsar, or Nicholas II, and his characteristics are incompetent, cruel, neglectful, and leader, or he's a leader. So what you would do in your annotations is you would highlight the first time you see Mr. Jones. Off to the side, you'd write Tsar Nicholas II, and then you would find evidence of what Mr. Jones is like. Okay, you can write in here if you want to, but notice this line right here. But this paper will not replace annotations in the book. So it might make it easier for you to put that page numbers so that when I go around, because you're going to have to find them real quickly, you will be able to find them quicker, but that does not mean that it'll actually count. I need to see it within the book itself. Okay, so 3 things. Highlight the name, write who they symbolize, and then do the first description or characteristic that you see of that character. And in here you've got 14. Okay, so chapters 1 through 5 will be 14 different things that you're going to have to be looking for. All right, so then the next set will be chapters 6 through 10. It's a little bit different. In this case, I want you to focus in on the commandments. And so the big 7 are right here, and you also see them on my wall. But here are the big 7. So I want you to think about, I want you to find evidence of that, so you highlight it. And then why did it change? Because they all changed. So what was it that made that change? So you're highlighting that in the book, and then you would find the revised commandment. So they did switch it. So in the book, you highlight the commandment, why it changed, and you highlight the new commandment. And again, you can make notes on this, and that's okay. But now notice what it says here. But this paper will not replace annotations in the book. So there you go. Those are your annotations for chapters 1 through 5 and chapters 6 through 10. And there will be a quiz for both of them. So please make sure that you are all prepared. All right, if you have any questions, come see me. Talk to you soon.